सभी साथियों को मैं नमस्कार। स्वागत है आप सबका आज के इंडियन एक्सप्रेस के एनालिसिस में। ग्रीटिंग्स टू ऑल ऑफ यू एंड वेलकम टू टुडेज इंडियन एक्सप्रेस एनालिसिस। पहले पन्ने पे हमारे सामने आ रहा है द वर्ल्ड कॉलम, जिसमें हांगकांग में सेम सेक्स यूनियन को रिकॉग्नाइज करा गया है और हांगकांग कोर्ट ने भी कहा है कि आपको इन्हें रिकॉग्निशन देना पड़ेगा। गवर्नमेंट को एक लीगल फ्रेमवर्क तैयार करिए इस चीज़ को लेके, जो कि सही है। बदलते समाज और बदलते वक्त के साथ देशों को बदलना पड़ेगा। Another article is about the Bharat and India controversy. As you are aware that recently in the ongoing G20 summit, President of India actually sent an invitation to all the delegates. Now the invitation was written on behalf of President of Bharat. That is the major row of the controversy here. Barely 2 weeks before the parliament meets a special session, the agenda of which is still under wraps, a political row erupted Tuesday over the name of country after the government sent out the G20 summit dinner invitation in the name of President of Bharat and not the President of India. As the opposition attacked the ruling BJP, a government booklet on the Prime Minister's visit to Indonesia for 20th Asian India Summit and the 18th East Asia Summit referred to Narendra Modi as the Prime Minister of Bharat. It was tweeted by BJP spokesperson Samit Patra, who too mentioned Prime Minister of Bharat. Okay, so the debate here is about should it is a good practice to use Bharat in invitations of a government official or not. आगे आर्टिकल्स में जिक्र करा हुआ है इस बारे में. Let us go ahead with it. A Teacher's Day. The classroom must be a space that is open and protected from pressure and prejudice. About 2 years ago, when school, colleges, and began to reopen after COVID enforced shutdown, reports and surveys underlined that the country was staring at a learning crisis. It was evident that the digital teaching had been a poor substitute for physical classroom. Educationists and teachers pointed out that addressing learning gaps, an area of concern even before the pandemic, even before the pandemic, would require a radical reimagination of the classroom. This called for removing the myriad hurdles, social, cultural, administrative, bureaucratic, that have for long limited teachers' capacity to nurture talent. In a very significant way, however, the country was well placed to turn crisis into opportunity. The new National Education Policy (NEP) announced that about 3 years ago, in July 20, had proposed a range of measures to make learning more experiential, holistic, developed, and oriented, enjoyable. मतलब कि न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी में जो प्रैक्टिकल लर्निंग को फोकस दिया गया, और प्रैक्टिकल लर्निंग से हमारा मतलब है, प्रैक्टिकल लर्निंग का मतलब होता है प्रैक्टिकल लर्निंग का मतलब होता है आपका स्किल्स डेवलप होना, चाहे वो वोकेशनल हो या किसी प्रकार की स्किल हो, युवाओं में इनोवेशन को बूस्ट मिले माइंड में, ना कि थियोरेटिकल लर्निंग हो बस. ओके, टुडे मोर देन एवर बिफोर, पढ़ लीजिएगा. Today, more than ever before, diverse sections of people see education as a means to social mobility. This is attested by the increase in enrollment figures across educational levels in past 10 years. This week development have placed responsibilities on agents across the education system spectrum. The policymaker, the admin, the pedagogue, a first or second generation learner, possibly from a Dalit minority community, should have been no reason for trepidation in the country's classrooms, campuses, laboratories, dormitories, and playgrounds. But a variety of disappointing incidents are proof that institutions and those who run them have not given adequate importance to this imperative. More than 120 suicide deaths in India's higher education between 1421, including 60 students from reserve categories, speak of unbearable stress of the education system. हम जानते हैं कि सुसाइड जो खबरें हैं वो डेली आ रही हैं एंड these figures do not include those who take their lives unable to take the pressures of the coaching institutions and train students for engineering and medical courses including quota. मतलब कहना ये चाह रहे हैं कि हमें ना एजुकेशन को बर्डन बनाना चाहिए, हमको एजुकेशन को ओपन माइंड रखना चाहिए, इनोवेटिव रखना चाहिए, प्रैक्टिकल रखना चाहिए, जो कि एक अच्छे व्यक्ति का, अच्छे समाज का विकास करे, है ना कि एक रट्टू तोते का या फिर ना सिर्फ पढ़ाई का बोझ लेने वाले लोग का विकास करे. आगे रिड्यूसिंग फ्रिक्शन. RBI should carefully examine data on digital currencies to determine the way forward. Across the world, central banks are examining the projects of issuing digital currencies. As per the Atlantic Council, 19 of the G20 countries are now in advanced stages of development of the CBDC, central bank digital currencies. 21 countries have launched pilot projects, while 11 countries will introduce a digital currency. The RBI has also been taking tentative steps towards the end. In 22, it issued a concept note on central bank digital currency. ये हम जानते हैं कि CBDC को RBI ने CBDC को हाल ही में लास्ट ईयर बेसिकली अक्टूबर में लॉन्च करा था. इसे कहते हैं सेंट्रल बैंक डिजिटल करेंसी, CBDC. ठीक है. रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया हैज़ ऑल्सो been taking the tentative steps towards the end. In October 22, it issued a concept note on CBDCs. It launched the pilot of CBDC as both the wholesale and retail segments. Okay. The pilot and wholesale segment involved the settlement of secondary market transactions in the government securities, while that in the retail segment it was launched with a closed user group covering select locations. On Monday, RBI Governor Shaktikant Das, while speaking at G20 Tech Sprint finale, said that central banks is slowly and steadily expanding the CBDC pilots to more banks, cities, people, and the use cases. As per the RBI's annual report, cities such as Ahmedabad, Chandigarh, Guwahati, Hyderabad, Indore, and Kochi are being added as to the pilot in phases. The adoption of the retail CBDC has also been gaining traction. As per report, it has crossed over a million users and 2.6 lakh merchants. Central Bank is aiming for 10 lakh CBDC transactions per day by the end of this year, considering the widespread usage of the UPI architecture in July. 9.96 billion transactions were routed through it. Several benefits could acquire from CBDCs, along with the bringing down the operational cost associated with the physical cash management. It could also make the interbank market more efficient. ओके, तो CBDC हम जानते हैं, इसके बारे में एक प्रॉपर एक वेबसाइट पर ब्लॉग भी लिखा हुआ है, आप जाके पढ़ सकते हो उसको CBDC को लेके. ये और आर्टिकल जो है ये इतना ज़रूरी नहीं है आपकी पढ़ाई के लिए, तो इससे आप इग्नोर कर दीजिएगा. फ्री मैंने हाईलाइट कर दिया है, आप चाहे इतना पढ़ लो भी काफ़ी है. और एक्सप्लेन पेज पाएंगे तो व्हाई इज द ब्लैक सी ग्रेन डील एंड व्हाई इज इट सिग्निफिकेंट. ओके, व्हाट इज़ द ब्लैक स्क्रीन. हम जानते हैं कि जो आपकी ब्लैक सी ग्रेन डील है, ब्लैक सी ग्रेन डील है, ये न्यूज़ में रही है लंबे समय से, जानते हैं क्या है। Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan on Monday said he was confident Russia would soon revive the Black Sea Grain Deal, under which safe passage was assured to the ships carrying grain from Ukraine in the Black Sea. Russia's President Putin, however, said the deal will not be restored until the West meets the obligation to facilitate Russian agriculture exports. In July this year, Kremlin had refused to extend the grain deal, which had been signed in 22, to help avoid a food crisis in part of Africa and the Middle East that was heavily dependent on the Ukrainian imports. What is the Black Sea Grain Deal? Ukraine is among the most world biggest exporter of food grains, such as wheat and corn, and the major contributor to the United Nations food and aid programs. After Russia invaded the country last February and blockaded its ports, food prices soared and raised fears of food shortages in some part of the world. To tackle the situation, the UN and Turkey on July 22 got Russia to agree to the Black Sea Grain Initiative. It allowed cargo ships to travel from and to three Ukrainian ports of Odessa, Kromorsk, and Pivdenai after inspection that they weren't carrying arms. The safe passage in the Black Sea was 310 nautical miles long and 3 nautical miles wide. The deal was extended twice before Russia withdrew from it. Why did Russia refuse to extend the Black Sea Grain Deal? Russia has continued to claim that the promises made to it under the deal have not been met. The Kremlin says that the country is facing trouble exporting its own agricultural products and fertilizers because of the many sanctions the West has slapped on it. While there is no direct restriction on Russia's agricultural products, Moscow says barriers on payment platforms, insurance, shipping, and other logistics are hampering its exports. Okay, since it declined to extend the deal, Moscow has reportedly attacked Ukraine's biggest grain exporting ports. On Monday, a Russian drone strike targeted the Danube River port of Ismail in Odessa, damaging the warehouse. रशिया ने इस पर ड्रोन अटैक करा था पोर्ट पे डायरेक्टली। ठीक है, या पढ़ लीजिएगा ये वाला आर्टिकल जो अभी देखिए, ये भारत को लेके जो आर्टिकल है इंडिया को लेके, इट विल बी जस्ट अ कंटिन्यूटी, क्योंकि अभी न्यूज़ में आ ही गया है तो आपको डेली देखने को मिलेगा। आप बस से पढ़ के इग्नोर कर दीजिएगा, ये इतना इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है टॉपिक जो है एग्ज़ाम के पर्पज़ से। जितना आपकी पॉलिटिकल साइंस के सिलेबस में आता है इंडिया वर्सेस भारत या इंडिया को लेकर जो बात है उतना काफ़ी है। ठीक है, SEBI to launch 1 hour settlement of traders, how it will benefit investors. SEBI, which in July this year had announced that it's working to launch real settlement of trades, is now planning to implement 1 hour settlement of trade first. The regulator is aiming to launch 1 hour settlement of trades by March next year. The chairperson Madhubi Puri Bhuj said on Tuesday. She also said that the application supported by block amount ASB, like facility for trading on the security market, will likely be launched in 24. What is trade settlement? It is a two-way process which involves the transfer of funds and securities on the settlement date. Two processes. A trade settlement is said to be complete once purchase of securities of a listed company are delivered to the buyer and the seller gets the money. The current cycle of T plus 1 means trade rate settlements happens within a day or 24 hours of the actual transactions. The migration to the T plus 1 cycle came into effect in January this year. India became the second country in the world to start T plus 1 settlement cycles in top listed securities after China, bringing in operational efficiency, faster fund remittances, shared delivery, and ease for stock market participants. Okay, so SEBI is trying to bring reforms in the market. Let's leave it for today. Thanks for giving your precious time and have a very, very nice day. It was just a brief analysis, a disclaimer for all of you. You have to read the newspaper. There may be more important articles in the newspaper. The main objective of this short analysis is that some students fear reading the newspaper, the fear of not ending it on time. So, what we are trying to do with this video is that just bring out the fear, throw it out from your mind. Once you have seen the newspaper in this video, you will automatically be able to read it on your own. Okay, so in this brief video, I am just trying to guide you about the articles. Rest, you can go through thorough reading on your own, because you have to read the paper to develop a mindset of you, which is useful in the examination. Okay, let's leave it for here. Thanks for giving your precious time and have a very, very nice day.